Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So logged in a few minutes early, just in case there's any questions come up before we start. So I hope you can hear me. Can somebody type in the chat just to confirm that the audio is also working, please? Aha, it says here, Rita, hello, is the sound working? I can hear you. Okay, right. Wonderful. So just 2 minutes and then we start. What are we doing? It's Friday morning, isn't it? So we're doing part 2. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing and when are we going to do part 3? Good question. Very good question. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, part 2. Right. Okay. So 6 o'clock and we begin. Now, I hope you've been practicing during the day since we last met, doing the thankfulness in your heart and then filling your whole being with love. Now, what we're going to do in part 2 is we're going to meld them to do both of those together. And you'll find that this will be somewhat intenser. Really, I don't know the answer to this at the moment, but how I'm going to give you part 3, unless Saturday becomes a very, very long day for me. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so what you have to do is to focus thankfulness in your heart and love, fill the whole of your being with love at the same time, simultaneously. So as with the other session, I'm going to help you with this. So this is all that you're doing, just these 2 things. But let them become one thing. That's what it's about. receiving the echoes back via the field, it's clear that at least 5 people just made a very great breakthrough. However, keep practicing. You will find that doing these two together as one, what's the word? Can't think of the word. But making them a unity will bring enormous changes in your life. It's like you're switching things on, so that lets you do things which previously were not possible because the power wasn't there. You wanted them, but you couldn't do it. You see what I mean? And this is about helping you to switch things on so that you can do it. And then on Saturday together, we're going to do something quite interesting. I've been told that part 3, the third stage of the preparation, will happen the same time tomorrow morning. And then during the day on Saturday, there will be 3 group exercises. Exactly what time and what they're going to look like, I don't know at this minute. I will know by tomorrow morning at the latest, maybe during the course of the day today, and I'll put that in an email. Now, has anybody got any questions right now? You mentioned that I will benefit from the headset. No. The Harmony headset, what that does, it sorts out the thoughts which are based on truth, reality, are in natural resonance with your system. The thoughts which are not based in reality, not based in truth, are dissonant, they're destructive. And what the Harmony headphone set does, it deletes the destructive ones because they can be readily identified because they're system dissonant. And any thought pattern, any habit is hot-wired in the brain with a synaptic chain. And when you remove the energy from that chain, which the headset does, that chain breaks. And when the chain is broken, that habit just does not exist anymore. So it's a permanent effect. And it's something that you can work with right now and for many, many years. I mean, the first Harmony headphone set was, well, we first realized what we got in July 2005. And I still use mine, not every day anymore, but I still use it because always there's something new comes up and you can work through it much, much faster with the headphone set than without. It's a very, very useful tool for getting rid of junk, which you accumulate all the time anyway. The mind clearing is about correcting the basic programming. So it's deleting the programming from the childhood, which is destructive, and then opening the canal to allow you to connect with your higher self, your whole self, to be your whole self. And this is also the thing that unlocks the unused potential of the human brain, because you can't use it at this mundane level. It can only be used together with your higher self. So once the canal is open, and that's what mind clearing does, you then practice sorry, every day, and you'll find that more and more of these abilities open. So 2 very useful tools which work very, very well together. but they don't have quite the same purpose and the same effect. Do the evolution need to be upside down in the APS? That's a bit of fine tuning, but yes, ideally, if you're putting evolutions in, the text should be upside down in the ears and readable from the back in the bowl, the one that's on the fontanelle, the crown chakra. Will the harmony headphone set to work? Well, the headphone set will reduce the effect of electrosmog very dramatically. I experienced this a few years ago now. I think it was 2007. I was in Las Vegas, and on the strip there, the electrosmog is so intense, I couldn't get out of the car. My legs just wouldn't work. So electrosmog. Put a harmony headphone set on, and within a minute I could stand up. It can make that dramatic a difference. Interestingly, it was in Las Vegas, because of the electrosmog, that they discovered that 5G doesn't work. Where they had a 5G remote controlled car and a 5G remote controlled robot, and the enormous amount of electrosmog on the strip, they both went out of control, crashed into each other. Now the owner of the robot is suing the owner of the car, and the owner of the car is suing the owner of the robot. They should both be suing the casinos, because that's where the problem came from. But suing a casino in Las Vegas, best of luck, sunshine. But it's interesting, the where you have high intensity of electrosmog, the promised benefits of 5G don't work. So what else have we got? Or should I purchase both? Both what? I don't know what you mean. Where do you get the headset, baby? Okay, just a minute. Let me have a quick look, because I've got a short code here somewhere. Which I can't access. Oh yes, I can. Sorry. Right. I'm not interested in that, right? Right. Oh, of course it won't be. So I've just got to log into the website to find this code. Right. And it is where is the headset? And I'm sure you don't want it in German. I've just found the German one. We need the English one. Oh, I wonder, could it be that? Just look. Okay. Yes, Got it. So I'll put there's a short URL here that takes you directly to that page on the website. Otherwise, it's a bit of a trek to find it. So, yep, there you are. That's where you find the headphone set. In your profession, how effective is meditation on several types? What was the most effective? Meditation is essential if sorry, if you want to achieve anything worthwhile in this incarnation. As you say, there are many, many styles. It's where do you want to go? I mean, the most powerful that I've used, and I used it for many years, is Kriya Yoga, but it is very, very complex, and you need to devote 2 hours a day to it just at the beginning. And then when you go into the second stage, it's 3 hours a day, every day. But it does bring enormous benefits. In America, you get it, and one of the sources is the Self-Realization Fellowship in somewhere near Los Angeles, if I remember right. There are other teachers. My own teacher is no longer incarnated. Just, Google it, Kriya Yoga, Kriya Yoga, and see what teachers you can find. There aren't that many of them, but there are some around the world. The teacher I learned from was the only one who was actually a resident in Germany until the German tax authorities forced him to emigrate. Had this wonderful idea that tax was payable on his whatever people paid for a seminar, tax was payable on that. Nothing could be deducted. Total lunacy, because Dhirananda himself would receive in net no more than half, maybe a little bit more than half of the money they paid, because you've got the organization, you've got the house, you've got the eating, drinking, whatever. But the German tax authority is saying, oh, you're going to pay tax on all of that, not on the actual earnings. So that's why he had to move elsewhere. In your preliminary meditation, suggestions for unblocking chakras. Well, find out why they're blocked and then remove the cause. It's not like unblocking a drain where you already know what's blocked. It's used hair mostly, combined with a bit of soap and a bit of grease from your skin. But you're not interested in stopping that, because you're going to keep washing your hands, you're going to keep washing your hair, whatever. With your chakras, this is very, very different. You start trying to unblock them without working out why they're blocked. You can cause a lot of problems. You can make things a lot worse. Like, you see, your chakras closed up maybe as a protection against something. And if you don't remove it, and if you try to open the chakra, you can make the chakra quite ill. Which means you're going to need an external expert to help you clean things out. Where can I find out more about the second part of allowing love to yourself? My text, nowhere. So far as I know, there's nobody else teaching this. If you are claiming, can't you get the answers? Well, not if the question is very vague. On, how do you unblock chakras? That's a very, very vague question. Which chakra on which person is blocked? In what manner? Since when? Now, then I can work out what is probably the cause and what to do. But something that's just very, very vague, if I start giving answers to that, people are going to start doing things which are totally inappropriate to that particular person in that particular situation. So I don't. I say, in general, but if you want to be specific, then I need that specific person. Okay, it's not like in pharmaceutical medicine where they say, well, if it works for one person, it works for everybody because we're only biological machines. And then they find out it doesn't, but then they don't talk about that. So what else have we got here? I meant Vic should be able to. I meant Vic should be able to not UP. I don't understand that. So anyway, we will hopefully see us tomorrow morning at the same time, or tomorrow evening, depending on where you are, Victoria. And then we have interesting things to do during the day tomorrow. So look out for my newsletter later today. If you're not registered for my newsletter, do go on to this website. And up at the top, you'll see a blue, can't think of the English word now, thing. And on the right-hand side, it says newsletter. Click on that, and there's the newsletter registration. Do it now because I'll be sending the newsletter out probably about lunchtime, European time. So whilst you're sleeping, the newsletter goes out. If you haven't registered, you're not going to get it. So, okay, then. Thank you for being there, and we'll see you. Thank you. Bye.